radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? Today's Thursday, February 24th, 2022. "55 days into the new year, only 310 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere, a total undisclosed location. But it is beautiful. Oh, it is. It is beautiful in here. Cold outside, though. Got my thermals on. Yeah. I'm kind of like the way we used to dress in high school back in Indiana. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but man, you had to have a thermal underwear t-shirt, right? Flannel shirt, t-shirt underneath the thermal, right? You had to wear the layers. And back then, I don't know what they would call them today, but they were called bass boots. And in Indiana, that was it. That was it. And I'm dressing. Today it's necessity. Back then it was fashion. It was fashion. Had to go to my mom. I need thermal underwear shirts. What? You know, everybody else is wearing them. I need bass boots. What are what? Mom, I can't go to school without bass boots on, man. And so funny. So funny. That's it. Warren Central High School, we had and it was big. It's bigger now, but back then I think we had. Just imagine this for a high school. We had 5,000 students, 6,000. You know, our graduating class was like 1,500, 2,000, and out of that, so half were boys. So let's go 1,000 seniors, all wearing bass boots and thermal underwear shirts. It was crazy. All right. Where am I at? I skipped over everything, didn't I? For KJCR, the Game Changer on X Networks, I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. And, let me see what's going on here. I lost the internet last night, so I'm just going to reset everything. I haven't really gotten around to any of that today. Okay. Phone lines are set, 747-228-2051. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. The sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. And there you go. Let's get to the breaking news, which Got a ton of breaking news today, and I'm going to wait for most of it on Monday. Yeah, because I got some different breaking news tonight. The government of Ukraine is asking for volunteers from the country's hacker underground to help protect critical infrastructure and conduct cyber spying missions against Russian troops. All of this according to the people involved with the project, as Russian forces attack cities across Ukraine throughout the day today. Requests for volunteers began to appear on hacker forums this morning as many residents started to flee the capital of Kiev. Okay, so there's that. And then there's this. This came in right before showtime tonight. Thank you, Renee. Ukrainian ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova, said today that a Russian platoon has surrendered, that the Russian troops had been unaware they were being sent to kill Ukrainians. And I hope that story's true. Okay. I'll leave you to go find your other breaking news, because tonight is Fadernight and it's open lines all night long. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, Billy Zane. Billy Zane is Uh-oh. Okay. All good. Started now. Okay. I forgot to hit the go buttons. I did. I forgot to hit the go buttons. Anyway, it's all good now. All right. Where am I at? I don't even know now. Billy Zane today is 56 years old. George Thorogood today is 72. Ted Nugent's OG original gangsta singer Derek St. Holmes is 69. Our dead guy's birthday today is Nicky Hopkins, 1944 to 1994. And here's the deal with Nicky. He was one of the most recorded keyboardists in rock and roll history, playing and recording with the Jeff Beck Group, the Kinks, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, the Who, Steve Miller Band, Jefferson Airplane, Joe Cocker, Rod Stewart, and Nielsen. Yeah, he played on Nielsen Schmielsen. That's right. And here's the thing. He played on so many records, so many hit songs, that there's just no way I could list them all right now. He's just an amazing. Played on Jeff Beck Truth. He played on what was the first one? Beckola, Jeff Beck Group. He died on September 6th, 1994 at the age of 50 in Nashville, Tennessee, from complications resulting from intestinal surgery related to his lifelong battle with Crohn's disease. Happy birthday, Nicky Hopkins. On this day in history, 1988, the United States Supreme Court defends the right to satirize public figures when it votes 8-0 to overturn the $200,000 settlement awarded to the Reverend Jerry Falwell. Jerry Falwell was upset. Yeah, he said he had emotional distress after being parodied in Hustler magazine. And that happened on this day in 1988. Fader fact, in 1604, King James I wrote a counterblast to tobacco. That's right. In which he described smoking as, and I quote, a custom loathsome to the eye, hateful to the nose, harmful to the brain, and dangerous to the lungs. That's right. He didn't mention weed, though, by the way. I'm just saying. All right. That's your Fader fact. That really happened. 1604. Think about that. All right. Tonight's another Fader night with open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. And now, I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black, Ronnie McMullen from Life Change Tea. Ronnie, good evening, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Jimmy?
I am doing fantastic, man. You sound uppity. You sound uppity.
Oh, with everything going on in the world, you gotta take a hard turn and get on the banks. You know,
man. I got to tell you, it's so weird. There's a lot going on, and there has been a lot going on. And who would have thought that, at the end of a 2-year pandemic, worldwide global pandemic, that we would have war break out in Europe? I mean, that is just unfathomable. That is just unthinkable. So anyway, enough of that, Ronnie. I want to talk about you. How you doing?
I'm doing, Jimmy. Life is a challenge right now, but it's what you make of it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but right now, this is, if you ever in your life, ever in your life, Ronnie, needed a reason to take care of yourself, right now. Right now. And I thought 2 years ago was the reason to start kicking all of this stuff in. And it was, absolutely. And taking care of your body, I think right now is something that everybody understands, right? But today, and we are at the end of this pandemic, this is the time to start taking care of yourself. Why? Because now you have to leave the house. You have to leave the house. You may have to go back to work. You may have to go back to the office. You may actually have to put on clothes. And you've got to get out there. You need to be slim, trim, healthy, and you're going to be out there without face coverings, right? You need to be healthy, don't you?
I think it's always a good time to be healthy. We put off supplements. We put off eating right because, a big juicy hamburger that just got cooked in grease, I'm sorry, it tastes good. Melted cheese, which is clogging the arteries. It tastes good. So we take care of ourselves in a certain direction, and we need to change that because our food's been completely manipulated. And so we need to change how we eat, how we exercise, and our supplementation so that we can feel better. And believe it or not, how we eat feeds the brain. And when you starve the brain, your thinking's a little off. Maybe that's the problem with all of our politicians.
Possibly. It's probably what's wrong with me. See, but it's all connected, though.
It is,
right? It's all connected.
It's all connected, and people don't realize that when you eat right, you do feed your brain. That's why you get creative thoughts. That's why you think smarter. But people, you think about how you feel when you have a cheeseburger. You know what I mean?
I do, and also, and Ronnie, I think we just had a little earthquake because my microphone started shaking on its own, and I'm not touching anything. It was kind of weird. I pointed it out to the camera. That was weird. It might have been a gravitational alignment from the moon. I don't know. I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel anything on my feet, but this was, and it never shakes. Anyway, let me point out something to you. This is something that I figured out on my own, and then later got the assistance of you and Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. Okay, and it's this. In the morning, when I wake up, or when I woke up, I should say, and I'm going to put this back around 8 years, 10 years, 8 years, I could start my day one of two ways. sluggishly, slowly, in a fog, and in a big tank of molasses, and my brain wasn't fired up, or I could start off the morning clean. And one of the and I noticed this, that there were certain things that I would do in the morning. First off was get up late. That was number one. And two, I would do things out of the gate in the morning. I don't want to, list all of that. But I eliminated some stuff. And suddenly, I was waking up with a brain that was working out of the gate. I didn't feel sluggish. I felt alert. I felt corrected. And then Get the Tea comes into my life. And I had this clear head. And I knew that it was because of the supplements that I was taking, altering my diet, drinking the tea, and sleeping correctly because of everything else that was going on. And then this is what I did. I, on purpose, messed up, right? Where I got up in the morning and I did the incorrect things. So I was sluggish. I was like, that's it. It's all connected. It's all connected. It's all connected. Isn't that funny? And I got to tell you, man, I wake up with a clear head instead of in a big tank of molasses.
So you want to hear my latest thought? It's a thought. It's not a truth yet, but I'm going to research it to see if it's truth. So Life Change Tea, Get the Teas, helps with the digestion and the colon in your gut.
Yes.
There is a fact that there is a mind-gut connection. That's a truth. So here's the question that I'm curious to see and prove. So if Life Change Tea goes to work on your gut, does it possibly clean your brain and your blood?
Well, it's all, but see, that's my point, though. It's all connected, and I don't want to put all of this into words because I don't want anybody. I'm not a doctor, and what I was doing physically the night before, and then when I woke up in the morning, I'm not going to go there. But I altered all of that. And when your body cycles through correctly, and I'm not giving medical advice to anybody, but once you cycle through correctly, your blood is correct. What is going to your brain is correct. Your overnight and your sleep is when your body's rebuilding itself from the torturous day that you made it go through the day before. And that is what sleep is for. And that's why
sleep
you
is
are
for healing.
Yes, for healing. And you don't want to force your body to do other things. And then when you wake up in the morning, your body's tired instead of refreshed. And by doing that and altering my patterns of bad stuff and moving into good stuff, it was the best way I can explain it is, when you walk in a pool, right? You're in a pool and you're trying to walk in the water and you can't because you're slow, and then you get out of the pool and then you can walk really fast.
Right.
That's what it's like. It's exactly what it's like. I got out of the pool.
Good analogy.
Yeah, you can use that.
I think there's a reality, and I'm going to try to prove it if I can, or at least get somebody going on it. But I think if you're cleansing your gut, and all disease starts in the gut, then are you cleansing your brain? And if you are, your brain's firing stronger, which means your blood's going to flow better, and you're going to live longer. Yeah, baby.
Yep. I agree with all of that. That's why you're going to live to 200, and hopefully I'll be right there behind you. And again, I'm putting such a big chunk of where I'm at today on Get the Tea and getthetea.com. And there's another part of this too. Now let me ask you something. There's no magic bullet, right? There's not. There's not. And you have to be ready and willing to make these changes.
You have to, it's got to be a mindset.
Yeah, it's got to be a mindset. You just can't take a couple of capsules of something and drink a cup of tea and change your life. It helps, but it's everything else that goes along with it. And you have to be ready. I was ready. And part of it was I know that I lived 50 years of my life. I'm 58. So I lived 48 years of my life in the fast lane. Oh, in the fast lane. I did everything I could to destroy this skin sack that I walk around in. And luckily I lived through that. But I got to the point where I was like, okay, now it's up to me. I need to my body hung in there. It did. But now I've got to start taking care of my body. My body took care of me before.
Well, be glad that your body didn't give up, because a lot of people think the supplement thing is stupid. But boy, I'll tell you, when all of a sudden something major happens in their life, they're ready to make a change. They're like, you know what? I think I'm going to eat right. I think I might exercise a little bit. And I think I'm going to do some supplements. Interesting how they change once they've had Mr. Heart Attack or Mr. Diabetes or Mr. whatever else that's out there.
One day, I wish I had like a wireless camera. You and I could be on the air like we are now, and I could show everybody my Get the Tea lineup, right? You could see it right there. My red vinegar, my moringa, my 365, right? G.I. Joy, all lined up in a row. My drawer with the tea in the refrigerator in my custom tea carafe that I have, and I am good to go. I live it. I do. I really do. I got it. You know what? Let's go through your specials. We just have a couple of minutes left, but I know I've sang the praises of this before. But those vinegar capsules, that's the bomb right there.
It is.
That's the bomb right there.
When you take apple cider vinegar, I mean, the list of benefits is so long it would be a 5-hour show. That's Yep. I mean, bee pollen, G.I. Joy, 365, moringa capsules. These are all, everything is just lined up. But I'm going to tell you, one thing that just opens up my eyes and I just live through the day is the apple cider vinegar. Man. Okay, so what do you... People don't like the pungent taste, so that when you put it in a capsule, it's kind of nice because you kind of bypass some of that.
I don't taste it. I wouldn't care if I did. It just... you know what? It makes... I can eat anything as long as I'm taking those capsules, man. I can eat anything. I fear nothing. Okay, what's on special this month?
All right, it's called the Big Bundle, and it's my tea. It is the Apple Cider Plus, which is the apple cider vinegar pills.
What?
It is vitamin A.
Yep.
And it is also melatonin for a little sleep action.
Right on.
We want to get some sleep, and it's marked down nice in your price range. And let's do some free shipping for the faders.
And promo code is?
Fader.
Very simple. Fader. So that's a pretty hefty discount right there. So, yes. And the same thing with the eye support pack. And look, it's just so funny how I just mentioned bee pollen and the apple cider vinegar. So you have two of my favorite things in both of these specials this month. And grapeseed extract too, as well, for the eyes. That's a pretty good package too, as well. Free shipping on that.
Absolutely. Just put in Fader.
You're the best. So everybody, it's very simple. GetTheTea.com. The links are over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Click on the link. When you head over there, right on the homepage, right on the front, are the 2 monthly special packages. I would get one of each because you're going to get a double dose of the tea, and you're going to get your apple cider, and you're going to get your vitamin A, and your melatonin, and the bee pollen, and the grapeseed extract, and all of that bundled together and free shipping. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. That's that's what I do. I stand by it, man. I stand by it. I may be a hype man, and I am, But this right here, and Ronnie, did you and I talk about the monthly specials this month? No. Did we talk before the show today? No. Did I know this was going on? No. I'm telling you right now, that is the universe. That is synchronicity. That is two great packages. If I'm a Fadernight right now, I get them both, and you're going to get free shipping, and you are all set up. Do what I do. There you go. Ronnie, thank you so much, my friend. I want you to be safe out there.
All right. Love you, brother.
Love you right back. Ronnie McMullen, Life Change Tea. I am your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. GetTheTea.com. Promo code Fader. Just get the 2 monthly specials right there on the homepage. 2 monthly specials, promo code Fader. You're set up. You're set up. I'll take a picture of my kitchen counter so you can see exactly what I do every single day. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Fader Night. It is Thursday. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I'll be right back and start taking your phone calls. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at wtih.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. GetTheTea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years, and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com. The tea that makes you go.
The new KUNXDB, the UNX Network, bringing you the best in paranormal programming in premium high-definition streaming audio and video. Log on to the network at unxnetwork.com and check out the growing lineup of programs, including Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and many more. Sign up for the free UNX newsletter, follow the UNX blog, or pick up the latest edition of the UNX magazine. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So check us out at unxnetwork.com. Tap the show page and the calendar so you never miss your favorite live shows and podcasts. We are your portal for all things paranormal. The X, explaining the unexplained.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Truly, the greatest night in all of talk radio and all of the world is right here on Fade to Black. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. And before we get started, I'm wearing my Alien Gray Eating Ramen t-shirt. Guess who got me this? I was gifted this. Gifted this from Christina Gomez, of course. I don't know how she must have had this thing made. Anyway, I was gifted some guitar straps, and just showed up and unsolicited and very cool. And I didn't even know they made these. And so today, well, here's the deal. So I got a box of 10 guitar straps today, and I don't know if I can. Oh, okay. So a normal, what I have on all of the guitars are these, and I've got so many of these straps. I don't know, 30, 40, 50 of these. These are the Fender Classic brown and gold straps, and they're on every guitar. And I guess somebody took notice of that. So these are, and they're, you can see behind me, right? They're on every guitar. So I got sent a box of, here, I'll just show you this. White and gold Fender straps, right? So I got 5 of these, and then 5 that are red and gold. And I didn't know. So today, take my mind off things. I was restrapping guitars. I'm like, man, I got to put these on. So that was my day today. I had a great day, and I was on with Christina Gomez earlier. And we did a show on gray aliens. That was so much fun. It was a great show. And I couldn't wait because the box of straps came in. So this is why I was late tonight coming into the show, because I wrapped with Christina at 4. And then each one of the straps, I had to cut the leather. So there's 10 straps, that's 20 cuts into the leather on each one to fit them over the strap buttons. It was like a whole project, man. Razor blade and getting stuff done right up to showtime. Just like, oh man, and I was stressing out. I was so stressing out. And it's like some kind of weird OCD, some kind of disorder. I had to get it done. I had to get it. I couldn't have one strap left. So there you go. So everything is strapped now too as well. Okay. Anyway, and that's why I was late tonight. That's why I was late. Race texting me what's going on, and I spaced a bunch of things. All right. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. That's the number to call. Uncensored, unscripted, unfiltered, unscreened. It's Fader Night. All right. What do you want to talk about? Let's go to the first call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy Church, it's Sarah Ann.
Sarah Ann.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? Every time you call and you say it's you, I picture you with a snow shovel.
It is so cold and snowy here. That's pretty much the truth. There's there's a snow shovel very close to me.
I picture you in a snowsuit, right?
Yep.
With the fur around
Drinking
the hood.
old style.
Yes, yeah, old style. They still make that?
Yeah, I picked up a 24-pack tonight, actually.
You do not, what? Do you make? Okay, is old? Nobody in the rest of the country even knows what old style is. Just so you know, or old Milwaukee. Do they still make that too?
Yeah,
they do.
So
do
delicious.
They?
Yum.
Old style is
Stop
a
it.
beer.
I'm gonna go get one right now.
Old style is a beer. You know what about? Do you remember Little Kings?
No, actually.
In the little green.
That's from Wisconsin?
Yeah, in the little green bottles.
Must have been before my legal age.
Yeah. Must have been old style though. Man, oh man, I could still see the can. It had the silver shield on the can. They still have those?
Yeah, I'll take a picture. I'm going to crack one open after we talk. Otherwise, I'll start slurring fast.
Old style. Oh man. Okay.
It's my dad's favorite. I got him some.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Old style. All right. What's on your mind tonight, Sarah? Sarah Ann.
I have no idea what I want to talk about because people are saying in the sandbox that they want to hear freaky stories. But I wanted to say that I really enjoyed. I didn't hear the show so much last night, but I loved Kathleen, and Freddie Silva was really fun too. I loved how he was talking about, the sweet spot in the sky with Orion and Sirius, and all the major players. And I was wondering, so you're not into Sirius yet?
Sirius, the constellation?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I am. What I am enjoying is I can finally, for the first time, and I could kind of do this when you were a kid. Okay, there's the Big Dipper, there's the Little Dipper, and that's as far as we went. Right, that's as far as it went. That's it. All right. Well, I was.
And then I got into Orion.
Right now, and up to maybe 8 years ago, I was still a Little Dipper, Big Dipper guy. And I'm so happy that I can go out and look up and know what I'm seeing and enjoy the moment. And now, I know I said this before, but it's really true. When I see Orion today, I don't see the stars. I see the friggin' picture, man. I see the bull. I see the arrows. I see the belt. I see the flowing robes, the grace, right? I see the whole thing. And I totally get it. I see the horns on the bull, and I'm just happy that I can do that today, and I'm getting better and better at it. So yes, I'm into everything, and I just go out there and I stare. See, this is the thing. This is, and I never really noticed this until like the last 5-6 years. That whole thing, it just sweeps across the sky, man. It just goes right across, and you've got stuff in front of it and stuff in back of it, and it just keeps on going. And the arc, oh man, I just love it, and I never noticed it before. I didn't.
Well, that's the thing that's weird about it is that's how I've been ever since I've always paid attention to the stars, but ever since I felt like more contact, it's like, okay, Orion was really present for me, and then all of a sudden I would go outside, and it's almost like they took their turns kind of drawing my attention, and I never paid attention to Sirius. And now I'm like, anything around Orion I'm really into, but once Sirius starts talking to you, especially when it's low on the horizon, forget it. Then things, for me at least, started to, kind of gravitate around that major star. Maybe it's because I'm a Cancer, I don't know, but
And
I
what
just
about?
like to go outside and see which ones catch my eye. And
I
then
know.
it's like, wow, okay.
And what about? I went through. This was probably about a year ago. This lasted for a couple of months. The Pleiades, man.
Yes.
I mean, that is
the Pleiades.
Woofa.
Yeah, they were the first ones that kind of reached out to me, and I never even knew about them. And
right.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah. And can you imagine? 3,000 years ago. And with no light pollution or anything else, and you've got the Milky Way just blazing, above you, and what the Pleiades must have looked like, because it's great and it's dramatic today, but can you imagine back then? It's like
so beautiful.
It's like a birthday cake with 50 candles on it, just lit up all together, just that cluster. It's just amazing to see. Amazing. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I love that whole area of the sky. It's funny because, there's so many like major players in that area. Like I still haven't learned all the stars of Orion yet. I don't know what the block is, but sometimes they really like Betelgeuse is like, okay, starts like, thinking about, well, what could that mean for me that all of a sudden I'm paying attention to this particular star.
Right.
But a few years ago, this was back in, I guess, 2015. And keep in mind, I'm totally new to the idea of anything off planet, but things got pretty dark for me. And a lot of darkness and a lot of weird things that I could, remember for the first time. But I woke up in the middle of the night, and I don't often hear things, but when I do, it kind of sounds like it's coming through a loudspeaker. And I heard Aldebaran, Aldebaran, Aldebaran. It was like a person speaking through like a loudspeaker, like a projection, if you will.
Right.
And I was like, what is that? And I had no idea it was a star.
See, now
no idea.
I'm sitting here in the studio. This is night sky. I'm going to put this up to everybody. This is night sky. And when you move it, you can see it lighting up, and it'll give you the constellation. And right now, it's like pointing over my head. So that's what's going on behind me. And so anyway, so you move it, and it will point and give you that constellation that's in that direction. You can even point it towards the Earth, and then you will see the constellations that are over China, right? And
all
but
the major players are in the sky right now.
it's and so that's night sky, and that's what I use, and I can just go outside and point this around and wonder what I'm looking at, and that's why I use night sky. So if you don't have night sky, you need to get it now. You just get night sky. Get night sky.
Yeah.
So what is that right there? Well, it's Beetlejuice, right? Whatever, and just point straight at it. I love night sky. Do you use night sky?
I can't see it. I have an app on my phone that I use religiously, and it makes it, there's a nice song that plays.
Yeah, that's it. That's night sky. Yeah, that's night sky. Yeah.
I think I have the premium version.
Yes, you're burning with gasoline. All right, Sarah Ann. So no freaky stories tonight. We just got old style and Beetlejuice from you tonight.
Yeah, if you want a freaky one, I can always whip one out, but I know you have a lot of other callers.
I kind of do, but I just love talking to you. So, okay.
So you want a quick one?
Okay, give me one quick freaky deaky.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to Kathleen on Monday, because I think it's really brave for anybody who's had those experiences as a woman to talk about that stuff. And it makes me think, I haven't spoken publicly about my experiences. Someday I'll call you and share some stuff. But when I was little, I had a lot of scream memories. And one thing that would happen is oftentimes I would see police cars and hear the sirens and see the red and blue flashing. And it would wake me up, and I would kind of sleepwalk. I would be in a trance. And then oftentimes I would wake up in the basement or, weird places all over the house, or wake up, looking at a static television because it was 2 a.m, all sorts of weird stuff. But one night I woke up and was led to the kitchen, and there was a very big window that was kind of lower. And I looked out, and I saw a family of like Sasquatch looking in the window right at me. They were, and it was weird because the men that I was, the male, you know, kind of patriarchs that I would see were very scary to me and threatening. But what I saw on this night was like a mother with 2 babies. And they didn't, I don't know if they looked like typical Sasquatch. For me, they kind of looked like big teddy bears, but scary.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like canines, but also kind of like felines.
Mm-hmm.
And they just looked at me.
And that's it?
Like, kind of like, yeah. I mean, it wasn't I guess it wasn't freaky. I had a lot of freaky occurrences, but this was, I'll never forget it.
They were just saying hello. They were saying hello.
More like curious, almost like,
Right.
is this person a threat? Is this little girl a threat? Right. Yeah, just looking at me. Yeah. I mean, if the dudes would have been there, they would have been snarling, but
yeah,
this was a woman and 2
Sure. And it was probably the same thoughts that you were having. They're having the same thoughts.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So weird.
What is she doing here? You're in their natural habitat. Right? And
that's exactly what it was like in my childhood. I was always in somebody else's territory.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah Ann, that was freaky deaky. Thank you so much. Now go get a snow shovel, bust open the old style, tell your dad I said yo, and have a great night.
Sounds like a perfect Fadernight.
I'll talk to you. Bye, Sarah Ann.
Bye-bye.
That is she is the best. And I cannot believe somebody posted up a picture of Little Kings and Meow. Thank you for that. I can't believe she's never heard, lives in Milwaukee and's never heard of Little Kings. I don't even think that's legal. You need to know every single beer company known to man. There you go. Okay. Anyway, Sarah Ann, you are the best. Get Night Sky. If you don't, I'm not endorsing. I'm not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor of ours. But that is an app that I use every single day on my phone. Night Sky is absolutely incredible. They do have 2 versions. One's free. That's the one that I have. And then you can upgrade. I don't know what the upgrade does, but the free version is what I use right there. It's all I need. And I've learned so much from that software. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? It's Drew.
Hey, Drew, how are you doing?
Doing good, brother. Just headed back to the hospital from going to the house and taking care of the horses and everything.
Okay. Can you roll up your window?
Everything's rolled up. I'm about to get off the highway.
Okay, yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm getting off.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Anyway.
So what's on your mind, man? What's going on?
Bro? Well, I heard you share the story of the blimp the other day and the epiphany of, how sometimes we see things and we think, we think one thing that changes.
Right.
And it brought up a thought where I posted on Twitter a picture of what I thought was an orb a few nights ago on Twitter, and it was really amazing. It was glowing orange, and it was set one beside it. Anyways, the next day I walk outside. This is all at the hospital in Colorado Springs. And I walk outside and I look over and I recognize it's like balls on the power lines for the helicopters that are landing at the hospital.
Probably the most photographed UFO out there are the balls on the power lines. No doubt about it. Silver,
it was
red, orange. I've seen them every color.
Yeah, man, it was so convincing at night, but the next day it was so funny, and I posted a video of it. But I think it's real important for all of us, if we do realize something like that, is to correct ourselves and be humble about it. Be like, hey, this happened, and and here's what it really is. But the real reason I wanted to call it, the other reason I wanted to call in is to share a real story with you. My MUFON case number 105233 that I shared with Jeremy Ray was the special investigator that looked over it, and we talked over a few months, different interviews, and I just want to share that story. People can reference it. If someone has access to the MUFON case files, they can look it up as 105233 and post it on Twitter. I don't have a copy of it anymore, but I like to share the story with you guys if you're down.
Yeah, go.
So I think it was about 2017. Me and my wife, Ella, we were driving in San Luis Valley. We were living in Crestone. We were headed north on Highway 17 going towards Denver. It was like about 11 o'clock in the morning. I think we was going to pick someone up from the airport maybe. That detail is on for it, but middle of the day, 11 o'clock, broad daylight, real sunny, beautiful day out. And we saw, well, I thought there was two birds coming from the right-hand side from the San Diego Cristo mountain ranges on the right-hand side. So I thought it was two birds coming from the right, and Ella was driving, and I almost told her to slow down because I thought we're about to intercept these birds, we're about to hit these birds that are about to fly across the road in front of us. Well, as they got closer to the road, I realized they weren't birds. They were two tic-tac crafts about the size of a bean. No wings or anything, just tic-tac. But there were two of them, and they were like about 6 feet long, maybe 3 foot in diameter, and they were flying at a high rate of speed, about 10 feet off the ground, and they crossed over the roadway right in front of us, got right across the roadway and did a dead stop, and we passed by them. It felt like time stopped. We just kept, and it took us both a minute to really, by the time we really thought about it, we didn't turn around or anything, but I did call MUFON and everything, when all these things happened. That was like one of the first years.
You're breaking up a little bit, Drew. Did you get any pictures?
I did not get any pictures. It happened so fast. We did do a sketch and everything. I think Ella did a sketch, and we sent it to Jeremy. And quintessentially, this was really the start of a relationship. Talking to Jeremy, I started sharing more occurrences, and really we ended up getting to really the nitty-gritty of what this all is.
Mm-hmm.
Like the UFO and the nuts and bolts part of it and sightings is huge story, but it's not the big story that is hitting right now. The big story is really the evolutionary consciousness of all of us, and the UFOs are just a small part of a much bigger story, and that's really what we got down to talking. But
yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I don't know what made me remember that. I haven't shared that story in a while, and I don't know why it come to me, but.
Well, so and I've got to head to a break here, Drew. But so two Tic Tacs, 6 feet long, about 3 feet in diameter, 10 feet off the ground, crossed the freeway in front of you and your wife at a high rate of speed.
And did a dead stop about 20 foot off the road, and as we passed by, it seemed like it took about we just passed by them. It was maybe a split second, but it seemed like it took like 5 seconds.
Right.
We just looked to the side and just saw them sitting there, not moving. They weren't, bouncing up and down. They were just dead stop.
Wow.
And they were moving probably, I can't, I'm estimating, I don't remember what I estimated in the report, but it's probably, around 200 miles an hour. They were just zipping across the field. I really thought it was two raptors, like eagles or hawks or something,
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Hawk's doing great. Thank all the faders for all the prayers and everything. We're still in the hospital, but coming home soon. One more thing, Jimmy, I want to, I'm about to have a commercial with on X Network and try it out for a month. What would it take for you to do to read a 30-second spot for me? for a commercial.
We would have to talk about that off of the air. And so there you go. Hey, Drew, be safe. Give my best to the family and Hawk. And thank you for sharing that. And thank you for the phone call, my friend.
Oh, one more thing. Coming up March 18th with Margie K. So be looking forward to that, guys.
Yeah, right on. Margie K, March 18th, everybody. Thank you so much, Drew.
All right, brother. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Be talking soon.
Right on, Drew. Drew Banky, everybody. And 2 Tic Tacs, 6 feet long. Earlier today, before I get to the commercial break, I'm out on the back patio, and I heard the jet engines warming up in the distance, and I was like, okay. And here it is. It's a U-2. The airport. Listen to the engines. That's a U-2 flying right over my house. Look at that. And I film it. That's all zoom. And this thing goes straight up, straight, just like this, and disappears into the blue sky. Listen to the engines, man. It's just, and so that goes down this morning, and I'm not going to talk about it or post the video because we know what's going down over in Europe. Coincidence? I don't think so. That's right. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. How cool is it? U2 just right over the house, takes a turn, and then just heads straight up. I watched it in the binoculars before I started the video. Totally cool. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30daysfree on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Open lines all night long. That you too this morning. You know the sound of certain things. Harley Davidson. You don't have to open your eyes, right? You know it. You know the sound. And I'm sitting and I just heard this low rumble with another overtone to it, and it's got this thing, and I was like, oh man, what's coming? Something's coming. Is that the U2? Could it be? And it just it's thunderous, and then there it was, just majestic, man, and turned up the heat because it's slow on the takeoff. And I just enjoyed it, and I got out the binoculars, and I'm just checking it out, and that thing turned and cranked up the engines and just went straight, so it came over me like this and then turned, and then that's what you see there, and just gone. It, a little black. This is so I'm done. I just couldn't see it anymore. I turned and I'm looking. I get out the binoculars, and it's just a little fuzzy. And I got it focused, and I pulled it, but you can't see it. And I went back, and there it was, and it just into the blue, man. Gone. It's just the coolest thing ever. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy.
It's who?
This is Kelly from West Virginia. This is a long-time listener, first-time caller. It's interesting you tell that story about the Harley Davidson because my partner's name is actually Harley, and I was quite nervous to call you.
Oh, he's cool. He's cool out of the gate. What was your name again?
My name's Kelsey.
Hi, Kelsey. All right. All right.
I'm kind of nervous.
Well, that's okay. Relax. We can together. All right, Kelsey. What's on your mind? What's going on?
Well, so I've been on a bit of a young spiritual journey since my father passed away, and I took care of him and did hospice, and he actually passed away right in front of me. And it fundamentally changed who I was and my perspective as a being, and it's led me to a point in my journey now where I'm now looking at the perspective of consciousness and what consciousness means for the individual. And I'm reaching this point where I'm come to this kind of personal understanding through my own perspective that like we are collectively connected, and we're connected through this conscious unconscious, and that unconscious part of us that is in the subconscious that helps kind of drive the potentialities for what our futures could be together collectively. And this has kind of led me to a point where I'm now playing with the ideas and the concepts of nonlinear time. And I'm at a point where I'm trying to conceptualize and understand what it means for the individual to understand that they are both the individual but the collective, and this is all a shared experience. But if that is the shared experience and it is all happening simultaneously, and I am then, now, and in the future, what that means for the mind whenever it reaches that point to practically implement that in their life.
And here's and the answer, or my comment is yes, 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 and yes. Okay, so let's just go down the check boxes there. But here's the okay. This is where your mind might let loose tonight. But I want you to think about this. Okay, are you ready? Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
Okay. You are just now understanding this. Okay, and starting to realize and recognize, and I get that. Your brain already knows. Okay, now your brain, the human brain, is like the most perfect invention in the universe. It's beyond perfect, and medical science today, they're trying to figure it out. They probably have got 1% or 2% figured out in what the brain is and what it can do and what it does. But your brain is ahead of your thought. So as you are thinking this and realizing this, your brain already knows this. So you think, now this is, just stay with me, you think that you are discovering things. Your brain already knows this. It's ahead of you. It's a time traveler. And I'll give you the perfect example. When you walk into the kitchen and you have made the decision to open up a cabinet and take out a coffee cup, you think you're doing that in real time. Your brain set things in motion 30 seconds before that. And you think you're just doing it right then. I'm going to open up the cabinet. I'm going to grab this cup. This is already set in motion. So as you are making this discovery about consciousness and the connectivity of everything, your brain already knows this. Your brain is already connected. Consciousness is already connected. You are just making the realization now. And that's the craziest part of it all. Our brain is ahead of the game. So think about that tonight in the dark. I want you to just look at the ceiling with your eyes open going, that was heavy, but I get it. and do that for me tonight and have a conversation with Harley about it too.
I will. And thank you so much for being you, man. For real.
Thank you, Kelsey. Where are you calling from?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. That's what I'm talking about. You have a great night, Kelsey, and give my best to Harley. Seriously, coolest name ever.
I will. And thank you again so much. I appreciate you and your time. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too, Kelsey. I appreciate you more. Kelsey from West Virginia, first-time caller. Love first-time callers. Is there anything better than a first-time caller? I don't think so. And that's one of the great things about Fadernight, right? You just never know. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy,
yes.
Chuckles, Pennsylvania. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Chuckles, how are you?
Good. And a couple callers back, I think Sarah Ann with the beer, there was a beverage store in my family's past, so I'm fully aware of some of those names. But you were just talking to this last caller about your brain being ahead of itself, and you wanted some woo-woo, some kind of weird but not too out of bounds stuff tonight. Did I hear that correctly?
Well, that's every Fader night, Chuckles. Come on, man.
All right. Well, buckle up, Buttercup.
Okay.
I have like tweeted this out. I've mentioned this to Faders. I don't believe I've ever called about it, but when I was a little guy, we're talking 4, 5, 6, because my brother's 4 years younger than me, and I know he was pretty fresh in this world when this was going down. And this went down for about a year. My parents had this room in the front of the house, one of those rooms that was only used for like parties. So I would frequently go into that room and just kind of like lie down or curl up in a ball, whatever you have it. And I would be transported to my front yard. Everything was completely familiar, but there was no houses or anything there, but like the landscape, the lay of the land, let's say, was completely familiar. Like I didn't feel like I was out of place or lost, but again, the modern technology of the houses and whatnot weren't there. And again, I'm 49 now, so we're going back. This was at least 40 some years ago. And who would be with me, not playing with me, but they would be like acknowledging me, like I knew they were there. They knew that I was there. Was all I can describe as like apes or monkeys. Now, I hadn't seen Planet of the Apes or, any of that stuff yet. And I've always thought if I could ever afford a regression, I'd love to understand what I was seeing, because this happened to me, I don't know how many times, but quite a few times as a young little Chuckles way back in the day then. And as I've grown up, and I've always been fascinated with the topic, I've always, I've dived in it more, and we've heard about there's no way that we could have jumped from ape monkey type to human that quickly. This is a common topic on Fade to Black. I'm really into the whole 46 and 2 thing, where you have those 2 chromosomes that are just why are they there kind of a thing. So anyway, I swear, and one day I'm going to get regression and find out that I was being shown the beginnings of us, because I was a little guy. Mm-hmm. They kept me comfortable. I wasn't scared. And you inspired this earlier with Christina, how maybe when they're trying to show us stuff, whoever they are, they do their best to not scare us because they know us. So I don't know. I've always wondered if it's possible that I was being shown something way back then to help me progress to what I believe in and understand now. But I was hanging out with monkeys that were humanoid type monkeys, like Planet of the Apes stuff. But again, I didn't see any of that stuff yet. So there's my woo woo.
That's full woo woo, except
nice.
Except that's what I like to talk about. And Kathleen Martin and I the other night had this very discussion, Chuckles. This very discussion. And I talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. I talk about it all the time. The things that happened to me when I'm a kid. What's going on with that? And do we take the time as adults to go back and think about the strange stuff that went down when we were young that we may have dismissed and forgotten about. Some of it, most of us have forgotten about it. We don't consider it, and we've moved on in life. I totally get that. I totally understand it. But if we take the time to just go back and think about, like for you, our little monkey friends, and for me, the things that happened when I was a kid, that as an adult now, the woo-woo adult, the church of woo-woo dude that I am today, I can look back and go, you know what? There was something to that. I don't know why. And when I mean, when I say I don't know why, I don't want to say I don't know why because it's so woo-woo and it's no, that's no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't know why the significance of future events were presented to me then. The picture was real. It's bona fide.
Yeah.
How can I have a vision at the age of 5 of me doing a talk radio show in a studio, talking into a microphone to a guy named...
I remember you saying that story. That's unbelievable.
Talking to a dude named Chuckles in Pennsylvania. Right? How am I supposed to even understand what that is? Now, I could have forgotten about that, right? And not gone back and I always say this, right? Ponder the significance. But yes, what if I didn't go back and ponder the significance of that? What if I just let it go? What if I didn't share it with the audience? And then you or others, including you, Chuckles, don't think about it and go back and revisit some of these thoughts that you had when you were younger, because I think it paints the picture of who you are today. And that's it. The woo-woo of it, the real woo-woo is how can somebody read our book, right? How could somebody know our life in advance? How is that possible? How can we, and what did I just say with Kelsey? Your brain knows, man. Your brain
is always ahead.
Is way ahead of the game, man, and is connected. So just think about that.
Well, maybe their technology or whoever they are or whatever it is or whatever if there's one massive ultimate light or brain behind this, maybe people like us, people like you, and being shown you in your studio and me in this fascination with 46 and 2 and, where we came from. Maybe we're shown as young children, so we won't be scared by it because you're a young child and hopefully it wouldn't. And then as you grow, it allows your brain to really do the deep dive and really think about it. It could be almost like planting a seed is kind of the way that I've thought about it. I would just love to, I would love to know if what I was shown had any significance.
But Chuckles, let me jump in, and then I've got to get to these other calls.
Sure.
What if it wasn't magical? What if it wasn't woo? What if it wasn't Crazy Town? What if it's just math? What if the universe is going to happen mathematically no matter what? And your brain is connected to that, and future events are there because the math is there, and your brain is able to interpolate and come back. And that's what a deja vu is. We think a deja vu is, maybe it's just already there. And with that, Chuckles, have a good night. Give my best to Kara.
You too. Yep. Love to all the faders. Good night, everybody. Fade to black.
Fade to black. Chuckles from Pennsylvania coming in strong. And I'm just saying, now, if that is the case, does that eliminate free will? Now, stop and think about what I just said. If that is the case, then is free will, like I said to Kelsey, you go in and you're grabbing that coffee cup, out of the cabinet, and you think that you're just doing that you're just like, I'm ready for a cup of coffee. And you pull, and your brain, all of that is set in motion ahead of time. Okay. And that has been measured So you have to understand, I'm not just blowing smoke here. I've read a lot of research about this. So is that eliminating free will? Right? That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. So with that, just think about what I'm saying. Just think about that for a second. If your brain is ahead and math is math, particles are going to divide and attract, and everything is going to do what it's going to do. That's it. It's going to happen. Then your life, is it you think it's free will? You know, that's where this gets crazy. It's where it gets really nuts, right? It doesn't take away from the absolutely fantastical, wonderful thought of everything being connected and consciousness being what it is, and entanglement in the universe and multiverses and parallel worlds and all of that wonderful stuff. But is it all just inevitable? The expansion of the universe, right? The timing and the life of our sun, the life of this planet, right? Everything is going to go on its intended path. So does that mean everything is going to happen the way it's going to happen, including the way that you grew up? Think about that. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Deb from Sacramento.
Hi, Deb. How are you? What's going on?
Good. I'm in deep thought with that question you just asked. You know, I believe we choose our soul contracts in our life between lives. And so if we choose our soul contracts and we pick our parents and map out our next life, then it is free will because we've chosen it in advance.
No, you think you have. that which is fine. Which is fine. It doesn't change the experience, right? But those choices are inevitable. So and so if you think that you have free will, it doesn't change the experience of your life. If you feel if you feel that you've chosen your parents and wrote your soul contract, cool. I mean, it doesn't change the experience.
Okay, we have different schools of thought on this. I mean, if you remember being in your life in between lives and seeing your Akashic records, and then you choose your next life, that's free will because you're choosing your next life. You're making those choices.
That's right.
And you may not remember doing it in your present life.
Right.
But you have done it.
Yeah,
and so
you
have go through all those different chapters.
Absolutely, Deb. You have the illusion of free will. And that's okay. No, I'm being serious.
Oh, you're killing me.
But I'm being serious. That doesn't change the experience.
So all of life is just an illusion then, Jimmy? Is that what you're saying? It's all just an illusion. Our lives are just an illusion.
It doesn't change the experience. It doesn't. And
I'm asking you.
Well, it does.
I'm asking you.
I'm okay with it either way. Look, if this is just like the example of that this is all AI, this is all this is a creation. This is a giant computer in Zeta Reticuli created by a Dyson sphere, and that everything here is ones and zeros. So what? It doesn't change the experience. It doesn't change the taste of Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream with whipped cream on the top of it and chocolate sauce on the top.
Rocky Road.
It doesn't change the experience. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Okay.
I mean, why would I care?
If you say so.
If all of this is, a hologram, a holographic universe, does that change the experience? That these guitars are holograms, and I take this beautiful guitar down, right, and I play a chord on this guitar, and I just go, and I play this wonderful note, but it's ones and zeros. Does that change this experience? No, it doesn't. So why do I care? And that was a random free will move, right? That I just randomly took this guitar down off the wall. But if it's not, what do I care? It doesn't change the experience.
Well, there you go. So, speaking of experiences and ice cream and everything, I put in the sandbox for you. I tweeted you some homemade chocolate donuts, Jimmy. Can you see them?
No, I don't have any of that stuff open. Okay, I'll check it out.
You can see everyone's tweets. Can't you find them? I made those today, and I took a picture to send you some tonight. So I want you to acknowledge them. I want to make sure you can see them.
Okay, I will check it out. Where is it at?
In the sandbox.
In the
I
sandbox.
put it under Jimmy Church Radio in the sandbox.
Okay, when? Do you know how many tweets have gone by? I can't see. Oh, there
I'm under
is.
Deb from SAC.
Okay,
that's there. Deb from SAC. Put a like on them. I want to know that you see them.
Okay.
I did those just for you. I took a picture of them just for you.
Right on. Thank you so much, Deb. And,
right on. So I want to tell you about Bigfoot. Do I have a minute to talk about Bigfoot?
15 seconds. Go.
I called in to talk about Bigfoot. I can't do it in 15 seconds.
But you've been on the air for 10 minutes. And you just
No, I haven't. I've been on for...
Hey, Deb, you're wasting time.
I've been on for 4.
Okay.
I've been on for 4. There's no time, so I guess maybe next week I'll talk about it.
Okay. All right. Well, it was wonderful, though. And this is an example of free will. Right here. You chose not to talk about Bigfoot. And
there's no time to talk about Bigfoot.
See?
That's not a choice.
You see, exactly.
So there you go, Jimmy.
It doesn't.
Last week I got 2 minutes. This week I got 4. Maybe next week I'll get enough time to give you a Bigfoot update that I've been wanting to give you for a month now. But that's okay. Maybe next week.
Hey, Deb, we'll do it. We'll do it next week, Deb. All right. Enjoy your weekend and don't watch the news. Okay. All right.
You too. Take care, Jimmy.
I'll talk to you, Deb. Bye. And man, I'm right up against it. Sorry about that. Let me get to the commercials. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. I wanted to hear the Bigfoot story, not talk about free will. Next week, we'll get Deb and Bigfoot in here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
This is Jimmy Church. Jason Martell's book, Knowledge Apocalypse 10-Year Anniversary Edition, is now available. Most ancient cultures speak of a time when their gods visited them. They never say their gods came from across the ocean or from the mountains. They always came down from the skies. Was ancient man visited by gods or extraterrestrials? We have not been told the full truth about our human past. There was a time when all the ancient cultures lived amongst beings they considered their gods. The search for truth leads us down the path of learning where the ETs might come from and why they are here. To understand some of these advanced topics and learn the truth about human origins, buy the new book from Jason Martell, Knowledge Apocalypse. Now in its 10-year anniversary edition, available on Amazon.com by clicking on the banners over on our site, or simply visit jasonmartell.com. That's jasonmartell.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRAradio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night, open line, 747-228-2051. That was a great call from Deb from Sacramento. And let me explain why. That was an amazing phone call. And here's the deal. All right? We can have thoughts about time travel. Traveling to the future, deja vu happening in our lives and seeing something that we thought about and then it unravels in front of us, right? If we think about this and predictions, how about astronomy, right? And astrology and all of it. So if we dip our toes into any of this and accept it, which is fine because I do, free will is zero. It has to be. You can't have it both ways. That doesn't change your life's experience. Okay? Now, for instance, and I just said, and this is why Deb's call was fantastic. That was a perfect phone call. Is this, I have said many times on this program that I had these crazy repeated visions of me on the radio doing a talk show. Now, I didn't know that it was radio and a talk show. The visions were what I'm doing right now, me sitting at a microphone in a studio and talking. All right. And I had these over and over again. So there it is. There it is right there. It is my life free will if I'm seeing the future? What if I ended up being a car mechanic? Or what if I ended up being a sculptor? Right? What if I ended up being a politician? Then those visions would have been incorrect. Right? Okay. So then there's free will in action, I guess. But if we accept deja vu, right? If we accept dreams that come true, the only way that dream can come true is without free will. Because if you had free will, then you're never going to get to the dream. You're gonna free will your way around it. And that's all that I'm saying. It doesn't change life's experiences, and that you experience the thought of having free will. So it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. But if we accept other things, right? We accept other things, then everything's inevitable. Numbers are going to play out. Math is going to play out. Gravity's going to play out. Atoms and particles and molecules and chemicals, gases are going to play out. They're just going to do their thing. And that's it. It's crazy. That's a great phone call, Deb. Thank you for that. All right, let's go back to the phone. Let me see here. Hold on a minute. Let's go here next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello, Jimmy. First time, long time.
Right on. What's your name?
Hello, Jimmy. It's Bill in California.
All right, Bill.
Come in. Radio check. 1, 2.
Yeah, you can take me
Hello.
off. You can take me off speaker. Okay, Bill.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to go,
I
my
was
man.
afraid this connection.
Yeah.
I was afraid this connection would do that.
Yeah, this is bad radio, Bill. Call back, my man. You got to be ready to go, and that's the way that goes, Bill. So call back. I'll try to get you to the front of the line. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, from a soggy sandbar in Charlotte Harbor, Florida. This is Malcolm J. Brenner. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm not bad tonight. And, getting old, and I have a couple of chronic conditions. Nothing serious, but just enough to complain about. But listen, I want to really raise the issue tonight of what you were just talking about earlier, about the human brain. The human brain is not the high point of neural development on this planet. The bottlenose dolphin has a brain that's 10% bigger than ours and has a region called the paralimbic lobe that it appears to integrate between emotions and cognitive processes. But we don't understand how it works. Birds have it too. And the sperm whale has a brain that weighs up to 18 pounds. And, John Lilly, who was a human brain researcher, threw up his hands at the thought of that and just said, maybe a whole orchestra playing, Beethoven might interest him for a while.
Yeah, I hear you.
But,
I hear you. The only I have two responses, and then I'll throw this back to you. First response is, with the sperm whale or a dolphin, and having a brain that potentially is more advanced and has evolved past ours. It's great, but you're in water, so therefore you can't make the technical moves going forward. So that's the limitation of that. That kind of sucks. But the other part is, out of water, Cro-Magnon had a bigger brain than Homo sapien. And where did that get them? So it's a weird thing. So when I look at the research into the human brain, which I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but there are huge organizations, private and public, on this planet doing brain research and trying to figure things out, and also trying to recreate and make an artificial brain. It's a huge project that's going on right now in Switzerland. It's been going on for 15 years. And that neural project is insane. Because we can count how many neurons and connections are in the human brain. So turn around and create a computer that's got the same amount of connections in it. And can we then move forward? They still haven't been able to pull that off. What they have found out in this research, and this continues right now, is throwing up their hands, going, you know what? Every time we take a step forward, we take 2 steps back. We cannot figure out the human brain. It is too perfect. It's too perfect.
Let me suggest something to you. The human brain has greatly evolved since, Homo erectus stood up on its hind legs so it could carry its babies and its stones in its arms. That was 2.5 million years ago, and our brains have developed phenomenally since then. They're about twice as big now. Dolphins, the bottlenose dolphins specifically, the director of the Sarasota Dolphin Research Program here assures me that their brains have not changed, according to the fossil evidence, in 12 million years. They are about 5 times older than we are. They have seen a lot more history. Nothing has challenged them enough to make their, brains develop or anything else develop. They're basically the same as they were 12 million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the Model A of animal evolution, and they've never seen a need to change. That should point something out to you, that and to your listeners, that we should really learn a lot more about how they have survived all the cataclysms of the last 12 million years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because maybe we can get hints from them.
And what about sharks?
What about sharks?
75 million years. I'm just saying, what about sharks?
Jimmy, if a shark has ever pushed a drowning swimmer to shore, it was only so that he could get him away from the other sharks.
I understand everything that you're saying, Malcolm, and I respect and appreciate it. And certainly, I think that anybody who's got an empathetic bone in their body can look at a dolphin and look into a dolphin's eyes and know that there is a ton of intelligence there. There's no question about it. And has seen and done things that we can only imagine and dream about. There's no question about that. My point with water, I want to go back and speak about some research where we are looking at possible life on Europa. And the reason why we're looking at possible life on Europa is because it's an ice moon with water underneath it that is warm and has been there for a long time. And because of the gravity pull of Jupiter, it's in motion, and therefore it's not solid. It's not frozen. So the thought experiment there is that if there's life anywhere, it could be under the ice of Europa. Now, could there be intelligent life there? And we could say something like a dolphin, maybe an octopus, some kind of extraterrestrial being living under there. But let's say it's been there for 50 million years. Why don't we see the problem with that is, and it's a very simple one, if you're advanced life and you're in the water, you can't have fire. And without fire, you're not going to develop. So we may discover life on Europa, and fully advanced in thinking and cognitive and sentient and all of that, but they can't have the internet, right? They can't build spaceships, and that's the only thing. And so it's an amazing thought experiment. It's crazy to think about. Octopus, man, octopus. So smart.
Listen,
so smart.
Before you let me go, I just want to propose an alternative. What do you do if you have 12 million years and no hands to chip rocks with? Because chipping rocks was the beginning of human technology.
Could be. Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
We have gone from chipping rocks to, printed circuit boards smaller than a grain of rice and artificial intelligence in 2.5 million years. I think the dolphins have played with their minds, and they understand their minds and their consciousness a lot better than we do. And that is why Dolly, the dolphin that I encountered in this park in Columbus, Florida, was able to contact me telepathically. This would be happening. In fact, I have had, guys have written whole books about this who aren't me. So this is a real phenomenon.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I totally agree.
It's sort of. I wish I could get some marine mammalogists or cognitive behavioralists to agree, because then they could study it, and it is worthy and deserving of study. I'll get off the soapbox now, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
You're the best, Malcolm.
Or whatever.
Yeah, you're the best, Malcolm. And enjoy your weekend, my man.
You too.
Thank you, Malcolm. Malcolm J. Brenner. And, okay, let me see what I got going on here. Let's go here next. Malcolm J. Brenner. Has everybody watched and is caught up on Resident Alien? Are you caught up on it? Are you there? Because there's an octopus in a tank that is smart. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. No spoilers, but it's really cool. It's really cool. I think I mentioned this the other day. I think I could have it wrong. I watch too much science fiction, but I think they mentioned the Anunnaki in Resident Alien as well. All right, and what was it? I think Don't Look Up. They mentioned the Anunnaki too as well. Don't Look Up is up for a bunch of Academy Awards. Wouldn't that be cool? Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. Can you hear me?
Yes. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Allison. I'm in Salt Lake, Utah.
Uh-huh.
Let me turn this down a little bit so you can bounce off your voice.
Okay. You said Alicia?
Alice Ann.
Alice Ann. Okay, I got it, Alice Ann. We got you loud and clear.
And I'm in Salt Lake.
Right.
I just want to say I love you. And I did see Alice Ann. I said I love you.
Yes, I'm enjoying the moment, Alice Ann. Okay, so what's on your mind?
Well, and I did see the thing about the blimp too the other day, and you were probably seeing a ship. You were probably seeing a ship.
You think
so?
They
hide in the clouds.
I know. Do they hide in the clouds in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, they do hide. They do hide by clouds. Well, I have several things I wanted to share with you that I don't know if you know about. There is a blog on Google called 2012 ... portal.
Okay. 2012 ...
Portal.
2012 ... portal. Okay. And
not on top of one another, and then the portal.
okay.
It is a blog post by someone by the name called Cobra.
Okay.
Cobra means compression breakthrough. That's how he got his name.
Mm-hmm.
And it means the event, because we're all waiting for the event on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell you something you may not know and your listeners are going to love. That back in November, Cobra started collecting signatures. He needed 144,000 signatures worldwide for intervention to come into our planet from the Galactic Confederation up above us.
Mm-hmm.
To help with our planet to get liberated from the dark.
And what happened?
Now, he got up to 79,000. The dark took his list down. Okay, he got his list back up. He got up to 81,000. They took his list down permanently.
Mm.
But the Pleiadian command said, your list still stands. Keep collecting names. So December 11th, he reached 144,000 signatures. And as you watch people sign this thing, they were signing from all over the world.
Wow.
It was cool to watch. He doubled the 144,000 mark.
Oh, he's up to 250?
Yeah, he doubled it.
Wow.
Okay. The second part was December 21st, the solstice, was a mass meditation. He needed 144,000 on the whole entire planet to participate. It was way more than 144,000. He passed it. Okay, December 21st, the second part, he was a mass meditation worldwide, and he produced through, we love mass meditation, the meditation in so many languages for the whole entire planet to participate at the exact moment of the solstice. That solstice went over the 144,000 mark. We passed both those marks for galactic intervention to come into our planet.
Mm-hmm.
And things are going to start rolling, Jimmy. They are. And he also talked something on there on his post about the dish. If you own your own property, it gives you something to say. And if you go out there and you cannot tell a soul you did it, you will get a Pleiadian person knock on your door. They do look human.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to come talk to you at a later date about landing a saucer on your planet. On your property. If you own your property.
Wow.
And he also said that you can also, if you have made yourself known to them that you want first contact personally, if you go out in the middle of nowhere, at least 60 feet out, which I think I looked at it like the size of a ballpark,
mm-hmm.
where away from homes, away from people, you can have first contact yourself from them.
That's very interesting. 60 feet or more.
60 feet or more out in the middle of nowhere. And you can't live near a base. Here where I live, I got a stupid base. In the military base, okay? So I gotta go find some nature somewhere and go way out. I know I will get it.
Yeah.
And And full moon every month, he does that first contact meditation for the whole planet to participate. Look that up. We love mass meditation. It is so cool because it goes by time zone. So everybody at the exact moment is doing that meditation. And it is powerful.
Yeah, it is. It is. And Alice Ann, Salt Lake City, thank you for the phone call.
And I just got to tell you, though, Jimmy,
yeah,
that I heard you on Valentine's Day talking about your flying thing that you had that you looked up in your area.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you went up high enough, you would get a nod, Mr. Church. Mr. Church.
Alice Ann.
I'm just laughing. I want you to know because you will see ships if you go up high enough.
I do it all the time. Alice Ann, enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend, Alice Ann.
I love you.
We love you right back.
Okay, go look at the portal.
I will. I'm gonna go do it after the show tonight.
Okay, you'll love it.
Thank you so much, Alice Ann. And it's a great phone call. Alice Ann from Salt Lake City. And I wanted to back up. I had a thought. In my head. I wanted to get out, but it's lost. It's in the ether. Maybe it'll come back during the break. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. It is Fade to Black. It is Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. I'll be right back after this short break with more of your calls. Stay with me.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, The X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? Un-X Media publishes non-fiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to wtih.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's wtih.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard, available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Gold loves chaos, uncertainty, and disarray. History shows us what gold does when people aren't sure about the government, the stock market, their jobs, or their retirement savings. Our national debt is skyrocketing. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against inflation and a stock market that might take years to recover. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Call United Gold Group. We offer gold and other precious metals delivered securely within 72 hours. Are you worried about the stock market? We can also help you set up a real gold or silver IRA or a 401k. Safe and secure. United Gold Group makes gold ownership affordable. Call now and get up to $2,500 in free gold or silver with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit unitedgoldgroup.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What a great Fadernight. Perfect night. This is why I do the show. I say it every Thursday, too. This is why I do the show, but this is why I do the show. And probably greater than that, a bill called in earlier tonight and got hung up on. Remember that? That was Zenza Bill, our moderator in the chat room. I didn't know. You know, I don't screen calls. I just grab them and go. And Bill had a bad connection and got hung up on. It was Bill. Oh, man. Oh, I carry the guilt now. I got burden. I'm a beast of burden. Betty Jo Jax just posted this GIF, and you can check it out, hashtag F2B. And it's this alien dream with this neon sign. And I have it. It's right there hanging on the wall. It's up too high for you guys to see. It's up on the top. But I have... Here, hold on. Let me see. Oh, man. I can't... It's nailed to the wall. I thought that it was hung. It's not hung, it's nailed. I was going to bring it down and light it up and show you the Alien Dream neon sign. It's right there. It's so cool. It was a Christmas gift. And I would have it lit up during the show, but there's no place to put it. And it's so cool to have it in the background. All right. Sorry about that, Bill. I'm a beast of burden now. I'm carrying the guilt. Okay. All right. Let's see. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Open lines all night long because it's Thursday and it is Fader night. Unscreened, uncensored, unfiltered. It's all of that stuff, whatever you want to talk about. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Joe P. from Long Island, New York.
Joe P. from Long Island, New York. How you doing, Joe? What's cracking?
Great. I got a pretty long story. I'm going to try to keep it brief for the sake of time, but it's incredible. It's kind of sounds like it's out of a movie, but I promise you, it's all real.
Okay. I'm now you've got my attention.
Yeah. Well, the conversation the other night you had with Kathleen Martin actually rekindled the memory in my head. This happened back in August of 2012 I call it the Fire Island incident. Off the southernmost coast of Long Island. I was laying down at a beach house in bed where I worked for the summer. And all of a sudden, my bed started shaking uncontrollably. And it woke me up. I looked around the room, and there was nothing there at all. So I was freaked out. I called my girlfriend at the time to tell her what happened. Went into the other room. And while I'm on the phone with her, red lights cast from the window onto me. And at first I thought it was a stoplight, but I'm like, wait a minute, this is the ocean over there. That cannot be a stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked out and to see what it was, and I saw a big red craft hovering above the water. And my jaw dropped. And it stayed there for a few minutes, just moving around slowly. And the whole time I said to myself, that can't be extraterrestrial. It just can't be. And immediately as I thought that, it's like it responded to my request almost, and it separated itself into 8 smaller crabs and formed a perfect octagon. Kind of like the Star of David, but instead of 6 sides, it was 8. And it kind of reminded me of that thing she was talking about, the Council of 8 or something like that. And for some reason, it seemed like that could have been related to it.
Maybe.
Because, I said to myself in my head, this has to be some top secret government tech. Because just being skeptical, I'm like, there's no way,
How far? Hey, Joe, just really quick, so I can picture what's going on. You're on the beach?
Oh, no, I'm in the beach house just looking out the window.
No, I'm saying the beach house is on the beach.
Oh, yeah, directly on, right smack at the end of the water,
Right, exactly. And how far out over the water was this group of 8? How far away?
They were about 100 feet out.
Wow.
Just maybe 200 feet up.
Wow.
So really close.
Yeah, right in front of you. Okay. And so you're saying 8 smaller lights, right?
Right.
Okay. And how big were each of the lights? Could you tell?
I would say about the size of a small car, like a Volkswagen.
Okay.
Beetle.
Perfect. Now I've got a visual. 8-sided shape, the size of a Volkswagen, glowing red, 100 feet out, a couple of 100 feet in the air, above the water, and you're at a beach house. And this is Fire Island, I think you said, in Long Island. Okay. All right. What happens next?
So immediately, as soon as I said this thing has to be government, it started rotating clockwise in perfect unison for about a minute. And it was like, that's insane. There's no way the Blue Angels could even do that. It was such perfect flying.
Mm-hmm.
It was like confirmation that there was no way that this was humans in these crafts.
Are you still on the phone with your girlfriend when this is going on?
Yeah, the whole time. And I didn't even say a word to her because I couldn't. My mouth was just on the floor.
Sure.
So eventually they stopped and slowly just flew out over the Atlantic Ocean one by one and disappeared. And when I woke up the next morning, I asked if anybody else seen anything. Nobody's seen anything. Nobody. It was really hard for me to try to describe to people what happened to me the night before because it was just so unbelievable.
That's really cool, right? Now,
yeah.
Okay, so now I get to ask some questions. Can I ask some questions?
Absolutely.
Did you have any interest in ET before this incident?
I actually did, and I did hear something about the Council of 8 beforehand. And it was interesting because I was like, could this be them?
Ooh.
At first I thought it was the Council of 6 because it reminded me so much of the Star of David, and I know that's a 6-sided shape.
Right.
But then I noticed that it wasn't 6, it was 8. So it was like nothing I've ever seen before.
Right. How has it changed you?
Oh, I'm not the same person at all. I know there's just so much more to this world that we are not even aware of that's right here and it's hard to even talk to people about it. Everyone I told about it, I had to tell people that I worked with. I just told them exactly what happened, and nobody really said anything. They were just like, "Oh, okay, that's nice. Like that's crazy." You know?
Yeah. So you're the crazy
And I was just
UFO
like, but
guy.
it really happened.
Yeah. You're the crazy UFO guy at work. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? And this is in Independence Day. Randy Quaid, when he's drunk, right? He's at the diner, and there's a group of guys sitting at a table teasing him about his abduction story that he's been sharing over the years, right? And then obviously we know what happens, right? The craft shows up and he's like, "See, I've been telling you, you know." So you're Randy Quaid, but just don't start drinking, right?
Exactly. Thanks, man. I haven't since not at all. It's been 10 years ago since that happened, so almost now. Yeah, 2012.
Now, what about 2012? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Anything happened since then?
Oh, so many different things. Most recently, a Sasquatch sighting, actually, right here in New York.
Wait. Now you got to pump the brakes. Okay, hold on a minute here. You had a Sasquatch sighting.
Yes.
Okay. You got my attention
And
a
this
second
stems
time.
all
Okay.
after your show with Todd Standing.
Continue.
And it led me right to that. And that's just another thing that we have to investigate. You know, this is real. There's a reason why people talk about this. You know, it's not just everyone's crazy.
Sure. So what happened?
I actually found a perfect footprint right by my car where I live up here in Highland, New York. I moved up here about less than a year ago. I did for about 2 hours, didn't find anything, but once I gave up and was headed back home, I saw him run out from a tree right in front of me.
No way.
And just booked it through the bushes. And I actually chased after him. I was so excited to see him. I don't know what I was thinking I was going to do if I found him, but it was so amazing.
Yeah, and so what did Sasquatch look like?
Every respect, almost like the way even the calves are, like is we're wearing bell bottoms or something, but it's just the way the fur is on the legs, like exactly how they portray them in, I don't even know, cartoons or something like that. There's really no cartoons with them, but the Patty Gimlin film, Bob Gimlin, that exactly like that, just the male version, which would have been way bigger. They're way bigger than a female. They're huge. Looks like a bodybuilding gorilla.
A bodybuilding. I love this, man.
And then people tell me, you know, maybe it was something else, you know, maybe it was a bear, and there's no way. It was running like a man, 100% like a man. There's nothing that does that in the wild.
And what color? Was it black?
Brownish black.
Brownish
Dark brown.
black. But the fur on the bottom was like bell bottoms.
Yeah, that's how their fur looks. It literally looks like you're wearing a pair of bell bottoms.
Wow.
And they're so big.
Did he
so muscular?
Yeah. Did he see you?
Oh, he must have been watching me the whole time because he was throwing stuff at me, trying to get my attention or something like that.
Right.
And you know, I given up at that point. I was looking for over 2 hours, and he was like playing with me, not showing himself, but when he did, I'm never going to forget that day.
Yeah, and so there was probably. How old are you?
26.
You're 26, so you're in shape, right? You're young.
Yeah.
And you're probably still quick on your feet, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But you weren't catching this dude, were you?
Not in a million. I couldn't have pulled my phone out fast enough to even get a glimpse of him. He was long gone before. That's why people don't get pictures, because it's so in. I couldn't have even pulled my hand out of my pocket quick enough.
Right.
By the time he was long gone.
and you decide to chase, which I would have done the same thing. I mean, that's a 1 in a million opportunity experience.
Exactly.
Not too many have. So, heck yes. All right, he's running away. So, I don't know what would be going through my head. Like, you think you're going to catch him, but you're 26 and you don't give a crap. You're quick. You think you can, and so you're going to give chase. How long?
I saw his trail for a little.
Keep going. This is one of the best phone calls I've had in a while, and I've had a lot of great phone calls just tonight.
Oh man, I'm a long-time listener, but this is my first time calling because I've had so many stories. It's like I don't know where to begin, and I don't want to just sound like I'm rambling. So
no, you're not rambling at all. How long did you attempt to catch up to Bigfoot?
About 20 more minutes, but I smelt him around too. He literally smelt like a zoo, like the gorilla poop at a zoo, or just animal poop. That's what it smelled like. It was amazing.
Right. Oh man. Any vocalizations, any grunting, any noise coming out of him?
No. But what happened the first night is what led me to this whole idea that they might be in the woods near my house. I was walking to my car one night around 10:15 just to go into my car to get ready to go to work like I usually would. And I heard a whooping sound from the woods. And I got like, wait a minute. I stopped and stared at the woods because I just listened to the video with Todd Standing where he was talking about the whoops they make and everything.
Right.
And I just stood there and looked at the woods. And the next thing I heard was a growl, like a really low growl. And then a scream, like a child scream, really loud. But that was not possible to be any animal because it was so fast. They were like one sound, but different sounds. It was weird how I've never heard anything like that. It sounded like a very chimp-like or gorilla-like. And that's what led me into thinking that they would be there. And just the next day or 2 days later or so, that's when I saw the track. That's when I did this, and that's when I saw him.
Somebody just tweeted out, Meow just says, I live near Highland.
Hey, there's Bigfoot all around here.
And now, and is Highland on Long Island?
Oh, no, this is actually up north more towards the Hudson River Valley.
Oh, okay. Well, what I was going to say, most people, when they hear of Long Island, and this applies to New York State too as well, but when they hear Long Island, they're picturing Manhattan in their mind, and that's not what it is. And the farther you drive, Long Island is it's country. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's not Manhattan. It's not Queens. It's not the Bronx. It's a different place altogether. And then now when you get over and you start driving north into upstate New York between all the way south, right? Let's say Manhattan, but you're driving north. And Poughkeepsie, whatever. I don't care. Pick a city up there. Syracuse,
right across the water.
Yeah,
That's
Rochester.
where I'm at, right across the water.
It is thick, hilly forest. That's what it is. And you don't picture New York being. People have a different vision of what New York is. I could absolutely believe that Bigfoot and Sasquatch could be anywhere in New York. Aside from the big cities that are there, Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester, Poughkeepsie doesn't count. That's a little town. But you know what I'm saying? So in between those cities is 100 miles of thick forest.
Yep.
And rolling hills.
Yeah, they're all in here.
Hey, man. Joe P., this is a great phone call. And call back anytime.
Oh, I sure will, Billy. Jimmy, you said Billy. Thanks a lot, man.
It's all good, man. Thank you much, Joe. And
hey, it's time to fade to black.
It's time to fade to black. That's a great phone call, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Take care.
You too. It's a great phone call right there. 747-228-2051. I wanted to jump back. A couple of thoughts popped in my head before I get back to phone calls, and which is this: Council of 8, right? And I'm glad that Joe brought this up. And then he mentioned Council of 6. I remember, and maybe you Fadernauts can pop this in, and going back to some of my original research into the UFO subject was the Council of 9, with all of the it was like trying to think all of the rich families that were around back then, and the seances and channeling that were going down. Hold on for a second. Council of 9. Let me go here. Council of 9. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I want to bring this up. Council of 9. Okay, so we've got that's in Greek mythology, in fiction, in role-playing games. Okay, in Greek mythology, the Council of 9, the members were Aphrodite, Apollo, Athena, Demeter, Hera, Hermes, Poseidon, and Zeus. Okay, so that's that. But the other Council of 9. Now let me go here and do this, because did I have this wrong? Okay, I should have done this in advance of the show. My memory, or did I have this wrong? The Council of 8. Okay. Did I have this wrong? Okay, I don't see it popping up here. Okay, this is weird. My memory is now incorrect. Okay, so this is it. The Council of 9 in the 1950s. Man, I want to say Puharich and others. Okay, so the industrial families, money, and others. So they get together at this house, and they have a seance, and they channel the Council of 9, which was 9 ET beings, alien beings, and they channeled them through, and the seance itself. So do I have the number wrong? And the channeled information that went down, and they did this over a period of time. And I thought that was the Council of 9, when I wouldn't have remembered this if Joe P. hadn't have brought this up. Kathleen Martin, when she brought up the Council of 8, okay, so maybe it was a different council. And I think I even asked Kathleen if it was the Council of 9. Now I need to go back. I'm gonna do the deep dive into this, and maybe I'll post something over the weekend. But I'll come back and address this on Monday, because I'm a little confused now in my UFO history, and it's ruining a fantastic memory of mine, because now he just mentioned Council of 6. So I'm not going to sit here and do Google searches trying to figure this out live on the radio. That's horribly bad radio. I'm not going to do that. But I thought it was the Council of 9. And I'm going to think about this during the break. We got one segment left. It is Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. One segment left. Thursday night, Fadernight. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer and UnX Networks. Race Hobbs. I will be right back. Stay with me.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church. Jason Martell's book, Knowledge Apocalypse 10-Year Anniversary Edition, is now available. Most ancient cultures speak of a time when their gods visited them. They never say their gods came from across the ocean or from the mountains. They always came down from the skies. Was ancient man visited by gods or extraterrestrials? We have not been told the full truth about our human past. There was a time when all the ancient cultures lived amongst beings they considered their gods. The search for truth leads us down the path of learning where the ETs might come from and why they are here. To understand some of these advanced topics and learn the truth about human origins, buy the new book from Jason Martell, Knowledge Apocalypse, now in its 10-year anniversary edition, available on Amazon.com by clicking on the banners over on our site, or simply visit jasonmartell.com. That's jasonmartell.com. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNXDB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight, 747-228-2051. I've got one segment left for phone calls tonight. One segment left if you want to get in. The Council of Nine, this is, and I was just thinking about, I was walking around trying to, and a couple of names popped into my head. Now, I'm pretty sure Puharich was doing this. I can't remember who the medium was, but I believe like one of the Astors was there. I think Fred Bell Helicopters, his wife, he was there, and they had this round table, and they contacted the Council of Nine. And I need to go further with this and try to figure this out. But Astor comes to mind, Bell, pretty sure Fred Bell and his wife, one of the Astors, maybe two of the Astors. And so it was the money table, this round table. And I think Puharich, I want to say it was Puharich, but it seems too late. He didn't come on the scene until the 60s, well, late 50s. Yeah, wow. And I can't remember the medium. It's coming back to me though. And when I just looked up Council of Nine, nothing popped up. So maybe I should have spelled nine instead of used the number nine. Anyway, somebody please help me with this. and let me know. Okay, so Sarah Ann just said, I know the Council of Nine. Okay, so I need some more research. You guys do some work for me, and let's get that done. All right, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, you hear me?
I do.
Oh, fantastic. I want to talk about John Titor then. Now, as you see with the Russian and Ukrainian situation, this is like fulfilling prophecy, even though the time frame is off by maybe 10, 15 years.
Interesting. Okay. Can you take me off speaker so I can hear you better, so the audience can hear you?
I'm on earpiece.
Okay. All right.
But I'll take that off. I'll put it
Okay.
on regular phone. Give me one.
Okay. Remember, you're live on the radio, and he just disconnected himself, and the call just dropped, just like that. So, all right, I'm going to hold off on the other calls because this is interesting. A John Titor call, and I don't have the John Titor timeline in front of me, but okay. And let's see if we can make this happen again. Let's try this one more time. Okay, what's your name?
Okay, how you doing? Yes, I'm Fernando from Los Angeles. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Fernando. Okay, so the John Titor timeline.
Yes, it's finally coming true. Now, John Titor had predicted dates, but the dates on our timeline were a little too early. Now, what I'm noticing our timeline, we're about 10 years behind those dates. Now, if you remember, John said his timeline, Y2K happened, but in our timeline, it did not happen.
Okay.
And in his timeline, Y2K happened, and Gore won the election, not Bush. Let's just say that. 9/11 still happened, and let's just say that, the Democratic president at that time frame, and, he got pushed away because he maybe wasn't doing enough. And let's say that in 2004, Trump ran for the election, right? So maybe Trump is the key part of this to push the timeline, whether it's either behind or forward, happening. So what I'm saying is, if you look at his predictions are happening now, Civil War. Now this new thing with Russia.
Right. Very interesting. The things that went down with John Titor, and I'll use the word force. If we forced some of the events that were going down here, in our world, I should say, at that time, some things seemed to fit. Now, I've done a lot of
war. The issues with Russia happening now, and as you see that this issue with Russia could have easily been solved if they just did the the same thing that JFK did with the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Here's my thought on that, and I've read some chatter about this. Here's the deal, and if I'm just trying to be a realistic person, you can't get into the mind of somebody like Putin. You can't do it. You cannot do that, and you can't predict things. You can't. Otherwise, we would have known this was coming. And I think that even the people of Ukraine, up until the moment of that invasion, they didn't think it was going to happen. That there was just no way that there would be a war in Europe and Russia would invade Ukraine. Nobody.
I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why.
But
look,
let me finish.
Are recently ending this COVID thing in the U.S.
Fernando.
In Los Angeles, they're trying to they're lessening it.
Fernando.
So now there's something new.
Fernando, let me finish. Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. It's this. The reason why all of this went down and nobody has done anything about it, and the United States isn't going to do anything about it. We're not going to put boots on the ground. We're not going to get in war with Russia. Is because dude is armed with nuclear weapons. He can do whatever he wants. That's the bottom line. And nobody is going to get in front of it. What you hope for is that anybody that is in control of a nuclear arsenal like that, no matter who it is, United Kingdom, France, India, Pakistan, the United States, Russia, China, is you hope that smarter heads prevail and that nobody is going to use these weapons.
I hope for that as well, but you have to remember in the John Teeter story, it's the U.S. has a civil war, so Russia attacks us because we are fighting amongst ourselves. And don't you see that happening right now in the past and could happen more in the future? So what I'm saying is that this timeline that he had talked about, it is showing up. We need to be prepared because if we are fighting amongst ourselves, anybody could take us out. And I think you have to acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so what I wanted to say to you, because I love you, you're a great host. I love Coast to Coast, and I love all these channels like online, like Joe Rogan. We need to stick together. We need to not divide ourselves to get into that future. We can always change the future. We can always be together, and we can always be strong, and nobody can mess with us. And you are correct on that.
Yeah. And if we, this is the thing, and I think that the media bears a lot of responsibility in where we are right now, and that includes the infighting, the divisiveness on any subject that you can pick. It doesn't even matter what you want to talk about, whether it's climate change or racism. Vaccines, pandemic, whatever, politics, religion, all of that is media created. And the media could chill out not only the United States, but the entire world. And they don't. And that's the problem, because coming off of something like a worldwide 2-year-long pandemic, that the one thing that should have happened as a result of this is that we should have come together and respected each other and found the bright light at the end of the tunnel, and we came together as a planet because we helped each other and worked through this thing for 2 years. Instead, we come out of the other end of this more divided than when we went into it. And that is right on the media's shoulders. And the media, and social media too, by the way, could be the remedy. It could be the fix. But instead, it's the opposite. And that's the crazy part. So when I look at this war in Europe and in Ukraine right now, why, after this planet went through the trauma, the emotion, think about the families and the lives that have been just affected to the most dramatic, just crazy, what we endured. And then we want to turn around and have a war in Europe right now? That's not what this planet needs. What is going on with that? I don't understand.
This goes to my point with John Titor. When he predicted these things, they didn't line up in the time. You live in Los Angeles, so you know you could easily drive to Vegas 2 different ways. You could take the 210 or you could go through Palmdale. One way you get there 4 hours, one way you get there 6 hours. So you know that the time could be different, but you're still going to get to Las Vegas. So he predicted these things, and now we're coming to it, and it's very scary. It's very scary, I'm telling you.
And
that's why I'm calling. I'm so scared. I'm calling tonight. I never called you before. I never called Coast to Coast, and I listened to Coast to Coast in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling you tonight because this is so important. I want to let every American listen tonight that I'm with you. We're the same. We don't need to be fighting amongst each other, because if we fight amongst each other, his predictions will come true, and you know them. And you should do a rebroadcast of the show that you had, where it was like, he said there was about 3 billion people that died from the nuclear war, and they hit all the major cities in the U.S. That's devastating. That's friends and family. So if the story is true with John Titor, we need to listen, and we need to prevent this future from happening. And I'm with all the Fadernauts and all the Coast to Coast listeners. I'm a regular guy. I don't want problems with nobody. I want to be, loved just like anybody else. That's my message.
Yeah. And Fernando, you're right about this. And here's the thing. I'm a person just like you are, right? And when I've made these statements that I don't watch the news because I don't like the feeling that I get from it. That's true. But that doesn't mean that I'm not aware. I certainly read the news. That's different. I don't like to watch it. I don't like the media manipulation into my brain. But I do read the news, and I selectively read it. I've been up on the events and what has been leading up to this. I'm fully aware. Last night, when the news broke at 9:30, I lost my internet. Now, that was just a strange thing. That was my router, and it just decided to puke. But at that moment, when that news came in, and the emotional thing that happened to me, right, where I'm thinking, wait a minute. We've got a war going on right now in Europe, with the second biggest country in Europe being Ukraine. And I just thought about the families, the kids, the moms, and the trauma that they're going through after going through 2 years of a pandemic. And I just went to that dark place mentally. And I know that I'm no different than everybody else right now, that we're all thinking about this. And that sucks. And we have to figure out a way to recognize that this is absolutely 100% wrong. And
I think the best way we do that is we need to unite as Americans first, because to prevent John Titor's prediction, that civil war needs to not happen. We need to be strong, and nobody would dare attack the United States under those conditions.
Yeah, and Fernando, no matter what, we will never do that. We would instantly come together as a country and as Americans and lay our differences aside. It would just never happen. Never, ever, 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 ever happen. And that's it. I believe too much in this country and everybody in it and the reasons why not only they are here, but the families before them and how this country is so great. This country is great because we're all different. That's why it's great. That's why it's great. It would suck if we were all the same. Wouldn't be any fun. And that's it. That's it. I know that we're going to get through this nasty, this craziness that is going down right now. I thank my lucky stars that for the last 3 hours tonight on this program, I haven't had to talk about it or think about it or read about it or see it. Right? That's my escape. And that's what this audience does, right? We escape and we come here and we're able to just forget about this stuff. But the show's going to end and we've got to go back and see what's going on. And the trauma that they're through right now, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's like a never-ending bad dream. Right? You just can't get out of it. You just can't get out of it, and you can't get out of it. I'm tired. I want to get back to some sense of normalcy.
That we're all tired, but now things are escalating a little bit more, so it's time to wake up. And what I'm telling you is we as Fadernauts and Coast to Coast listeners, and even as Joe Rogan listeners, we are just the normal people who understand, like, you don't mess with people, you leave people alone. That's it. You know, you have common sense, you're a good person, you treat people with respect, and that's the way the world works. But unfortunately, as you mentioned the media, you had mentioned the media now for like a couple minutes, the media. That's like your worst friend. Imagine your drunk friend calling the shots. That's the media. They want to instigate something. They want to fight something. They want you to do something. And we need to put that to an end. And we need to recognize the true media as you are and other outlets are. And that's why I'm calling for the first time. I've listened to programs like yours since 1994. So what it was about almost 30 years. The first time I called, because the time is now. We have to call you and say, hey, I'm with you. I respect you. I'll follow your lead. Meaning, like, guide us, give us the true information, and we'll follow your lead. It's time. We're not going to just subscribe to CNN and Fox News and all that stuff. No, we want to subscribe to people who are being truthful and understand both sides and trying to help both sides. So that's what I'm calling today. I want to let you know what I see, and I go, this is very dangerous for us. But the solution is us united as a country. You can't defeat us.
That's it. I mean, it's so well said, Fernando. And I know that our community, certainly this audience and the Fadernauts, we get that. I mean, if you look at the demographics of the Fadernauts, we've got everything here. We've got right, left, red, blue, green, white, gay, straight, old, young, smart, stupid, like me. We've got everything is here. Everything is represented. But you know what we do here on this show is we don't care about any of that. We don't. And the Fadernauts do not. And I will not divide this audience. I will not. I don't want to divide the country, but I just won't do that. That's not the way forward. And the only way forward is to accept everybody as being a little bit more different than you. And that's how you move forward.
That's right. And that's why I called you tonight, and I want to let all your audience members know, regardless of their what's been going on with the vaccines and the political persuasions. You know, some are conservative, some are Republicans, some are liberal, some are libertarians. I want to let everybody know I'm on your side. We're on the same side. We can't let this media divide us. Like, let me give you an example of myself before I let you go. When I go to the supermarket, I wear an N95 mask and a cloth mask over. I wear gloves on my hands, and I have my own shopping cart. And I see people who go to the store with no mask, and they use a shopping cart. And you know what I tell them? I tell them nothing, because they're using their freedom of mind to decide what they want to do.
Right.
America's about freedom. According to Los Angeles County, I should just wear a cloth mask, and that's it. Right?
Right.
But I don't listen to that. I follow my own instincts. My instincts tell me I need to be gloves, my own shopping cart, N95. But I understand other people have their own instincts that tell them, I don't need any of that. They have their own immune system. They know how they feel, what vitamins they're taking. So I respect that. So we have to go back to the day of freedom. Let people decide what they want to do when they go to the store.
That's it. That's it. You
That's
just hit the nail
it's
on
so
the head.
simple.
I mean, honestly,
I was at a deli counter with a guy with no mask, no nothing. He was getting meat. I was there with gloves, my own shopping cart, and 2 masks. And guess what? I was getting meat. And we live harmoniously. It's so simple. Can I get 5 pounds of that? Can I get? Because I don't have a problem with that guy.
Yeah.
Because you know why? If my mask is 95% effective, what do I care if this guy has a mask or it doesn't?
That's right.
It doesn't make sense.
That's exactly right. Why?
You know?
I don't.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't give a crap about anybody's differences. That's their life. And I don't want them to give a crap about mine. It's my life. That's it. And let's go rock and roll together. You know?
Exactly. And that's the way we have to do it. So how can we do this? So I'm asking you, please do another John Teeter episode just so we can all refresh on the subject. And then number 2, bring us together, man. You know, Joe Rogan's doing it out there. He's fine for all of us. He's a common sense liberal guy, fine for all of us. You know, and everybody sees it. It's like, you know, I don't even want to get on topic of the monoclonal antibodies and then how they disappeared and they went away. Let me tell you something. I've been triple vaxxed. I got my double vax. I've been boosted, right? Okay, listen to this. But still in California, they hide how to get the monoclonal antibodies. And I go look online. Is there a phone number to call? Is there someone how do you get it? Now, you know that with the monoclonal antibodies, they're like sandbags in the house. So you put the sandbags before the rain comes. If you put the sandbags after the rain comes, they don't work. But if you get them before, they work. So in California, they've been hiding it. There's no information. And that's why I want to give Governor DeSantis from Florida a lot of credit. He has a 800 number. You call it. You can find out where to get your monoclonal antibodies. And I give the guy a lot of respect.
All right. Hey, Fernando, I gotta end the show. Great phone call. And I'll take a look at the Teeter idea. All right.
Please, we have to do Teeter again. This is the most important time of Teeter of all times. Please.
Have a great weekend, man. Great phone call.
You too. Have a great weekend, and thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Thank you so much. And what a great Fader night tonight. That was just a perfect Fader night. I can't imagine. How do we, can I ask you guys a question? How is it possible that each Fader night gets better than the last? And we have done hundreds. How is that possible? What is Fader night going to be like next year? Right? How cool is that? All right. Amazing night tonight. Amazing calls. Thank you to everybody that called in. Just an absolutely perfect night. And with that, I am going to get out of here. We've got an amazing week lined up next week here on Fade to Black. And I can't wait. We'll make the announcements over the weekend. In the meantime, Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is only copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll see everybody on Monday. Have a great, safe, fun, amazing weekend. Until then, it's time to fade to black.